Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 4. I love this issue as a kid. I actually bought this off the rack, and then I rebought this series about 10 years ago. Got it on eBay before the prices started to go crazy. So if you were to buy all these issues now, this is probably the most expensive 12 issue limited series available out there. Each issue will set you back at least 20 bucks if you were to buy it on a comic book store. You may still be able to get some sweet deals on eBay. So I bought all 12 issues, let's see, about 2018, somewhere around there, 2017, 2018. And I bought all 12 issues in fabulous condition for about 60 bucks. And the guy, I bid, and that was it. And so I got it plus shipping. Shipping I think was like $5. So 65 bucks, all 12 issues. So some of these issues in Secret Wars will set you, like I said, set you back about 20 bucks each. Of course, Secret Wars number, what is it, 9 will set you that it'll set you back over 100 bucks nowadays. And the one with Doctor Doom now, because of the anticipation of the movie, is actually at about $50. So yeah, very fortunate. So this is done by Bob Layton with John Beaty. Mike Zeck does not do this issue, but this thing here, I remember reading this and reading this and reading this. What phenomenal stuff this was for kids back then, and this helped influence how I love these comic books. So it just fermented my love. So beneath 150 billion tons stands the Hulk, and he's not happy. And you see the Hulk holding this mountain to prevent the heroes from getting crushed. So all right, situation hopeless. And here we go. So there's so much for the superheroes headquarters. Jim Shooter is the writer with Bob Layton and John Beaty. So like I said, Mike Zeck taking an issue off. Mike Zeck unfortunately does not have a big gallery of work. He does a lot of covers, but even that is not as many as other people. His body of work is just small. He's got that Punisher limited series, about 6 of the issues here, maybe more. I know Bob Layton does a few. Covers for Captain America. He had the Spiderman, where Kraven the Hunter had killed himself. So I mean, he's gotten some stuff, but not that much. All right, and so we got here Doctor Octopus, Ultron, Doctor Doom, Kang, Thunderball, I think, Titana, the Absorbing Man, Molecule Man, and the Wrecker here. So, all right. Dr. Octopus says, I can't believe we let them slip through our fingers. How could they have escaped? And Doctor Doom says, with the destruction of their fortress complete, their moments are numbered, Dr. Octopus. We shall hunt them down like dogs. I never liked that phrase. I like dogs. So we got Molecule Man and Volcana. They got a crush on each other. So, you can even see her smitten. Molecule Man, it was unbelievable how you obliterated this entire structure with just the wave of your hand. And he says, "Oh, it's easy when you control molecules, and you can call me Owen if you want, Volcana." Owen, what a darling name, she says. Look at the Absorbing Man behind them. So Molecule Man is probably the most powerful character in Marvel comic books. And it probably, if you were to go face to face, probably DC comic books. What makes him beatable is he has mental health. So, he has insecurities. He's got anxiety, depression. All the stuff. So that's what makes him beatable, and I think that is awesome because you created someone who can literally remake the universe, but because he's got mental health issues, uh, I think that's just fantastic. I don't know. It's so great. Of an idea of a concept to have all this power and just suffer from mental health. So Titania says, "Any sign of them, Octopus?" Not yet. He says, "He's look at this stuff. These binoculars he's wearing. These glasses I found them automatically. These glasses I found seem to automatically detect and focus on moving objects sooner or later. Wait there, about 5 miles that way. I see them regrouping." So you can see them here. They look to be in bad shape, easy to finish off. They're out of range of hand weapons, but perhaps we can salvage a heavy cannon. And look at her. Bah, Titania needs no weapons. And she picks up this thing here, and even Absorbing Man is like, "Holy!" And he throws it at them. "They will not escape. I will crush them all," she says. "All right, Wrecking Crew. If she can do it, so can we. Bomb them with smaller chunks of debris." So, and Absorbing Man says, "Throwing rocks is stupid. Let's go after him, just in case Titania missed." "The Absorbing Man is right. Let's go," says Dr. Octopus. And Molecule Man says, "That really won't be necessary. I can take care of them for sure." And she's like, "Really, Owen?" "Sure, Volcana. Just watch. See those mountains in the distance?" I love this here. And he just picks them up. The entire range. I'll just drop those on them. And so here we see our heroes picking them up. They're just basically giving introductions. So we got Hawkeye, Hulk, Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Mr. Fantastic. We got Ben Grimm, who is not the Thing at this moment. He reverted back to human. We got Iron Man, and this Iron Man is not Tony Stark. James Rhodes. We got Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and we got Human Torch, and then of course Captain America. So, Spider-Man, spider sense begins to tingle, and Hulk tells him to take it easy, but he's like, "I sense danger." What, from above? And all of a sudden, here comes Titania's thing, and so he says, I can't put him down and get that thing out of the way. So Hawkeye, of course, uses some of his arrows. I love the screen tone. I always point out screen tones here. And breaks it up in two. And then Iron Man uses his repulsors and gets some of the smaller debris as these two chunks kind of move next to him. And ba-bam. And so Hulk says, "You didn't even drop Captain Marvel. Not bad." And Iron Man says, I never drop talent like this, my man. And Captain America says, keep moving, troops, before. And he's like, oh no. By the way, I just want to say, seeing Bob Layton draw Iron Man again, he hadn't drawn Iron Man since he had left. So it was nice to see him draw Iron Man again. And of course, the whole mountain range is above them. And boom, dropped. And so, and the villains rejoiced, and Titania's like, that did it, they're finished. And look at them, everybody's congratulating him, and Molecule Man is like, oh, shucks, you know. So um and Doom is like, you know, everybody's like, oh, they're dead and blah blah, and Doom is like, perhaps. Dr. Doom is he's probably Marvel's best villain. Not most powerful, not most, just their most complete, their most, because Doctor Doom doesn't believe himself to be evil. Doctor Doom just thinks that he's the best person to take over the world because he'd be more efficient than everybody else. Hubris and all that stuff. That's just good villainy. So, and so remember that Thor and the Enchantress had taken off to speak godly things. There is a Thor story. It was a fill-in story that kind of is going to fill in this gap of kind of what happened. So I have not covered that. I'm currently still covering Walter Simonson's run, but once I do, I will be posting it with the Secret Wars playlist that I have. So I started with issue 1, so feel free to check it out. So we get a bit of a recap here in this part here. So basically, Enchantress says that if they win, they would ask for Thor's love because for a millennia she has desired him to be hers. She even says here, as well you know, for I stop at nothing to satisfy my selfish desires, and I have often sought to take your love by deceit or force. Thor, of course, says, love is not to be seized, it can only be given. Oh, such a noble guy. And she says, but we immortals are want to occupy our endless days with foolish and impossible quests, either to keep from going mad or because we are. Could you ever love me, Thor? And he goes, I know not. Am I not beautiful? So he says, sure, without a doubt. And she's like, well, kiss me. But then suddenly, of course, this is the moment where the mountain was dropped. So we got a bit of an earthquake here. By Odin's beard, he says here. And his little helmet thing falls off. And she goes, take me to my friends. And so she does. And when she shows up, he is now in the lion's den, and the guys are going to they want to go at him. Look at Titania, let me have him one-on-one. And Doom is silence. And Thor, Doom, where are my comrades? What have you done with them? I want answers, speak so quickly. And the Enchantress is like, uh-oh. And Doom says, why? They are dead. We have slain them all by dropping a mountain range on top of them. Simple. Effective. No? Now, listen well. You are hopelessly outnumbered. Submit, and I guarantee a merciful death. Oh, how noble of him. And Thor says, are you mad, Doom? Do you truly believe that any odds might deter Thor from striving till the last breath? And Doom says, of course not. However, common courtesy demands that I make this offer. It is 13-1 against you. Perhaps. And of course, the Enchantress turns away because she wants no part in this. Again, love the screen tones here. And Thor's like, aye, so be it, as she walks away. He's going to fight alone. And so here come the villains here. Thor alone against them. If the original cover wouldn't have been so great with Hulk holding that mountain, I think this Thor going alone against the villains would have been an appropriate one here. So I'm not gonna read everything here. We just see the villains kind of going after him. Thor throws Titania away. Here comes the hammer, but he the you see the absorbing man here. They're all hitting him. Look at this. And then Thor still, look at this. Bam with Mjolnir and calls lightning. Of course, Doom has his personal force field, and Ultron is made out of adamantium. Ultron fires, misses, but then he fires now, and all of a sudden you see Cthulhu, see the cape, see the helmet. She even starts to cry. And Doctor Doom says, I believe the test can be called a success. And Octopus, of course, says, looks like all that's left is the helmet and scraps of his cape. So, again, love the screen tone. The X-Men are not yet accounted for, Dr. Octopus, nor is Magneto. And Galactus remains a possible problem. We shall return to Doom Base. I love it. Named it after himself. Told you, he's awesome villain. And plan our next strike. But first, there is yet one other matter to attend here and now. One of you tried to kill me, he says. Indeed, he almost succeeded. And for that transgression, he must pay. And it turns out, and that was in issue 1, and it was Kang, Kang, of course, knows. He goes, Doom, wait, the circumstances were Ultron, slay Kang. Doom, listen to me, but you're gonna need me. And he's like, everyone's like, gas. I trust that lesson is not lost upon the rest of you. Now to Doom Base. But as they're leaving, we see a hand, and we see, of course, a wrist. What are these things called? Anyway, you see one of these, and so we know Thor is still around. So here come the X-Men going to Magneto's base. Colossus is thinking about Kitty Pryde, whom he has a relationship with. I've already said all my stuff, and I cover the X-Men. I have a playlist with the X-Men. I've said everything about it that I can possibly say. We're moving on. So, Rogue says, not too long ago, I probably would have been fighting on Doom's side. Now I'm with the X-Men, but if push comes to shove, if we're losing, will I stay with the X-Men? I wonder. I don't want to die. And look at that. She crunches the chair. And Nightcrawler says, what do you keep popping your claws for? Asking Wolverine. And he says, Nightcrawler, I go through life holding back, keeping the animal inside in check, just barely. But this is war. Maybe the last war for all the marbles in the universe. So this time I ain't taking prisoners, no matter what Charlie thinks. So I love how Bob Layton makes metal look. So we continue here. They are going to Magneto's base. Again, some more screen tone here. And Magneto here is inside his base trying to create something here. Turns out it's just a comb that he created out of nothing, probably using his magnetic energy to, I don't know, do something here. So he's kind of got for some reason he's got the hots for her. I don't know why. It just came out of the blue. I don't know why Jim Shooter did this, but right now Magneto's got the hots for the Wasp. And so Wasp asked, why is there no bathroom? But Magneto says whoever used to have this was humanoid, and delicious alien fruit nectars, which is probably a drink. Would you like some? And Wolverine says, got any cold beer, Maggie? I can't see Wolverine using nicknames here. And of course, here comes the X-Men. And um, Professor Xavier says, "Good morning, Magnus. I have come to discuss joining forces. I believe it may be mutually advantageous to forget our various differences and work together." And so Xavier continues, "As a force independent of that under Captain America's command, there is much good we might do." And Magneto says, "How interesting, Janet. Perhaps you know her better as the Wasp, leader of the Avengers." Again, we're getting introductions because of Jim Shooter and this. This could be everyone's favorite or first issue. It was actually my second. I had issues 3 and 4, and then skipped around a few. We didn't have a comic book store where I was living at that time, so I got these off the newsstand. So it was hit or miss. So Jen and I have been discussing precisely that. So, slay your enemies, and all your desires shall be yours. That is what the Beyonder told us when he placed us here. After seeing his power demonstrated, I believe him. Therefore, we must take an aggressive role. Unlike Captain America and his allies, we must not fight defensive battles. We must slay Doctor Dooms and his lackeys. So, and if Captain America does not see the wisdom of our course, if they do not join us, or worse, if they oppose us, we must slay them as well. Don't you see? Should Doom triumph, he would have the Beyonder fulfill his selfish desires. But we, by the Beyonder's grace, would create a golden age on Earth, throughout the universe, an age in which men and mutant live together in peace. We must fight to the death. We must win. Janet agrees with me, don't you, my dear? And of course, she doesn't. She says, "You know, Mag, you're a pompous, overbearing jerk. Cute, though." And she pinches his cheek. "Did you really think I'd ever consider going along with your sick plans? I've been playing all along to find out what you're up to. And now that I know you really are the most evil scum since Hitler, I'm going to stop you. What, you dare?" And so she shrinks. He says, "That won't save you." And says, "That's not all I can do." And she hits him with the Wasp Bang. The X-Men go after her and she beats him. I'm telling you, the way... I don't know whether Jim Shooter just didn't like the X-Men or he wanted to... But because it was the best-selling title at that time. But in the previous issue, they had Spider-Man just annihilate them. And now they have the Wasp annihilate them. That is so not cool. But at least they make a reference to it. So, Cyclops even says, "She caught us flat-footed, clobbered us. We deserved it. We reacted slowly, no teamwork. First Spider-Man thrashes us, now the Wasp. I've had it with getting dumped on my butt." And so, Magneto says, "She won't get far. Taking evasive action won't save her. The little fool. I'll crush the vehicle with her in it." And so she's trying to get out, but it's not working. And Xavier says, "I can't allow you to do that." He says, "Allow me. You presume too much, Xavier." So Professor Xavier continues here. "A few hours ago, I succumbed to temptation and silently prevented Spider-Man from delaying our journey here. That was a crime, an act I shall long regret. In that moment of weakness, I was no better than Doom or Hitler or anyone else who ever used power to usurp another's freedom. If we are to be allies, Magneto, we must first agree that whatever noble ends we do not justify evil means." So, all right, so now we're going to go to the heroes here, and we see someone say, "How about a little light?" And Captain Marvel creates, because she doesn't need to make fire to do it, kind of like Johnny Storm here. And so you see Hulk just hanging on. So Iron Man's like, "There must be 2 miles of rock above us. How can you even hold all that up?" And Hulk says, "I'm just bracing it. I've got leverage still. I don't know how long, seconds, a minute maybe." And Hawkeye's like, "We couldn't dig out of here in a month. We're as good as..." And Captain America's, no, we're still alive. There is a way. Help me revive Reed. And so he's coming around. Reed, listen, we're in trouble. They dropped a whole mountain on us, man. Iron Man and Hulk wedged out of a space as it landed, keeping us from being squashed. The thing, or Ben Grimm says, there ain't enough air for the torch to flame on and burn his way out, and it's probably too far away anyway. No one here has power enough to cut through or dig. And you can see Reed here. And Hulk says, except me, but if I let go, the rock above will smash us before I could start digging. And Reed goes, Iron Man, let me have a look at your armor. If it operates as I suspect it does, I might just have an idea. And you must have a toolkit. I'll need it. And Hawkeye, if you have any trick arrows with microelectronic components. Good. Spiderman, your web shooter devices must have circuited relays. I need them too. So he's like, oh man. So he takes the web shooters here. And Reed, Captain America says, can we help? No. Iron Man, your armor is more technologically advanced than I ever dreamed. Working with it is easier than I dared hope. Every system is already cross-linked, a cinch to modify. I knew Tony Stark was brilliant, but... And Hulk is like, shut up, Richards. I'm tired of hearing about how brilliant you are and how brilliant Stark is. Do you hear me? The dumb brute who's buying you this time is fed up with that garbage. And Rita's, I see. Well, that's exactly the kind of self-pitying mewling we expect from you, Hulk, or Dr. Banner, or whoever you are. But you are correct. You are correct. You are a brute. So keep using that muscle. That's all you're good for. We'll see why Reed's talking smack in a moment here. Why? You arrogant clown. You know I'm losing my intellect, don't you? You think I'm just a dumb ox again already, don't you? Well, maybe I am, but you better pray your stupid plan fails, because if we get out of here, I'm going to rip you apart. And you can just see the Hulk struggling here. Captain Marvel, Johnny, I've adapted Iron Man's energy input so that you can feed your power directly into this power pods using these makeshift transfers. Concentrate, Johnny, channel your maximum Nova Flame heat through your hand into the unit. Captain, give him the full spectrum of the electromagnetic radiation. And so they do, and you can see Iron Man just blows through the side of that mountain. So it's quite powerful. And off they go. And here, of course, was Thor, happy to see them. And so Captain Marvel goes out. They need food, shelter, supplies, all that. So, and here we find out why Reed was such a jerk. Hulk, Dr. Banner, I'm sorry about what I said down there. I was only... And Hulk says, you knew I was losing it. You deliberately made me angry because you knew the madder I get, the stronger I get. Yes, I know, Richards. I finally figured it out. I'm not that stupid. So, all right. So, Captain Marvel doesn't find any of what she needs over here. So now she's going to go look at the other way. Goes through Galactus. She goes like, maybe we should leave him alone. Finds this place and off to tell everybody. And of course, they all go there. And here are these alien creatures. And you can't really understand them, but they're like, put all the hurt people over here. And she heals. Johnny's smitten with her here, but not as smitten as Colossus will ultimately. It's, I think, part of her powers that she makes, I don't know, people maybe fall in love with her, perhaps. So, all right, and, oh my gosh, nothing. Ben Grimm says, I don't know about this place, Reed. I mean, we're right in plain sight of Galactus. And Reed says, Ben, believe me, if he cared about us, it wouldn't matter where we are hidden. But he doesn't. So right now, it's as safe as anywhere else, Reed says. So we're finding out the last page, and he says, okay, you're the boss, but hey, and so how suddenly he transforms back into the thing. what the blue blazes is wrong with me? On Earth, I'm always a lovable lump of orange rock. Here, all of a sudden, I get human again for no reason at the worst possible time. Now I'm a monster again. Why, Big Brain? Why? And Reed says, I'm not sure, Ben. But he thinks I'm starting, but I have a strong suspicion, and it's not good news. And he kind of doesn't want to tell him, so he says, I'll give it some thoughts here. You do that, Stretch. I'm going to see if these guys got a cut big enough for me to hit the sack, and if those little wimps don't panic and run off at the sight of my beautiful bod. So, all right. And so Reed's alone with his thoughts here. At last, I truly understand just how lonely you feel, Ben. Trapped inside the body. Now I'm trapped too, billions of light years away from Sue, fighting what may be the last fight. It must be worse for her. About to give birth to our second child, not knowing when or if I'll be back. What? He moved. Galactus moved. And so you see that here. Oh, no, no. So, next, the Battle of the Four Armies. Secret Wars, number 4. Jim Shooter, Bob Layton, and John Beaty. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.